What do people learn too late? Learning when to say no. Learning how to apologize when it's your fault. And how to not apologize when it's not your fault. Greater than learning when to say no. This can be quite hard for non-confrontational people and/or people who prefer to avoid conflict in order to please people. Any tips for making saying no a more comfortable process? Consider what saying yes will cost you: time, energy, money, etc. If you really can't part with what it would cost, then no is a statement of fact and an act of self-respect. Also, recognize that other people are allowed to be upset or have negative emotions without it being your job to fix that, even if they say you're the source or reason. Obviously, if you've hurt someone with your words or actions, you should apologize, but if someone's mad at you for not doing them a favor, too bad. You're probably not their only option, and they'll just have to learn to solve their own problems. We're each responsible for our own happiness. We can choose to add to the happiness of others, but it's nobody's job to ensure someone else's happiness. Yeah, I'm going to save this one. Perfect description. How to communicate. I whipped out PP. Is this how to obtain GF? Not everyone is going to like you, no matter how hard you try. You could be the juiciest peach in existence, full of flavor, yet there will still be those who don't like peaches. You're as pure as a peach, and as nice and as neat, as fine and as fair and as swell and as sweet, as soft and as smooth and as cool and as cute. Quote. She smiled at him gently. It's just, I hate fruit. The value of a good, unconditional friend. Had the same best friend since I was 2. Don't know where I'd be without her smiley face. That it's possible to do everything fucking right and still lose. Just life in it. Interest rates, credit cards, credit score, money saving techniques, 401k. In other words, anything that keeps you from being trapped by poor money management. Don't worry if you aren't living an exciting or extravagant life. It's okay to live simply and quietly. It doesn't mean that you're wasting your life. My name is Yoshikage Kira. I'm 33 years old. My house is in the northeast section of Morio, where all the villas are. And I am not married. I work as an employee for the Camu department stores. And I get home every day by 8 p.m. at the latest. I don't smoke, but I occasionally drink. I'm in bed by 11 p.m. and make sure I get 8 hours of sleep, no matter what. After having a glass of warm milk and doing about 20 minutes of stretches before going to bed, I usually have no problem sleeping until morning. Just like a baby, I wake up without any fatigue or stress in the morning. I was told there were no issues at my last checkup. I'm trying to explain that I'm a person who wishes to live a very quiet life. I take care not to trouble myself with any enemies, like winning and losing. That would cause me to lose sleep at night. That is how I deal with society. And I know that is what brings me happiness. Although, if I were to fight, I wouldn't lose to anyone. That hating people who are different makes you nothing but unhappy. Wow, isn't that the truth? How slippery a slope addiction is. How quickly trying something at a party turns into being hooked. Nicotine is a bitch. I know it's awful for me and my lungs, but I just keep on going back. I'm 3 days clean right now. LMAO, it's a start. That dwelling in the past only wastes your present and shortens your future. That most people will just help you how and if they can, if you are honest to them. It seems like so many people feel the need to conceal what they actually want from you and try to get it by presenting a half-truth or what they think you want to hear instead of just being straightforward. Pulling out is not an effective method for birth control. Up your game, playa, pray and spray all the way. That some things can never be undone. The actions you take and the words you speak *will come back around sooner or later. Many college degrees have no job market. Trade school is a financially solid option out of high school. This biggest regret in life equals going to college. I luckily got out of it with way less debt than most for my completely unmarketable degree. Woo Communications. In high school, I wanted to be an electrician. I was a musician and was fascinated with how amplifiers and whatnot work. I didn't even know that that field is probably one of the most well-paid trades there is. Because it's fucking dangerous. When I was 17, my parents told me, "Go to college, or you aren't our son anymore." Off to college I went. I've since restarted in a totally different field, which I could have gotten into out of high school, and would probably be in a cushy office position by now. But I'm doing okay. My story is a rare one though. There really shouldn't be people with master's degrees working at McDonald's. But this is the world we live in. How to manage their finances. Lesson number 1, $1,000 is not a lot of, but it's a lot to owe, asterisk. Lesson number 2, it's much easier to blow $100 than it is to make $100. Lesson number 3, to 3 children is not better than 3 money. Social media can consume your life. It's not all real, and not everyone posting pictures is having a great time. And not every "I love you so much we should catch up" is genuine. A cat on his back inviting a chesty rub is a trap. How to not give a fuck about how others see you. Seems simple enough for me now in my 20s. But back in high school there were many fucks given about how others saw me. Ironically, those people that didn't care how others saw them were often the more respected ones. That they are terrible at parenting. Too late and won't admit it. That COVID-19 is real. How short life is. To be fair, this quote generally has the tendency to encourage behaviors that make life even shorter. YOLO. Bro, life is the longest thing anyone ever does, asterisk. 0 to 10. Life was fun and seemed infinite. 10 to 20. Couldn't wait to experience adulthood. 20 plus time slowed the fuck down. 2 words, flared bass. I don't get it. Anyways, gotta run. I'm putting up some curtains. Naked, on a step ladder, above a basket of assorted fruit and vegetables. Oil up for safety. That they are responsible to unfuck their lives. No one else. Saying, "I love you," or wanting to reach out to your family, friends, and loved ones. But crippling anxiety stops you. You never know when it may be too late to say these things. So be in the moment, and live love in the present authentically. The importance of writing skills for formal contexts. Writing is an important skill in nearly any field, and the more a career advances, the more important it becomes. The lack of adequate writing skill often holds back a career. Yet many people squander their opportunities to learn writing because they think their class assignments are empty busy work, and they figure their skills in spoken English and informal text messages will carry over when they need to write for work. That being mean to people will get you nowhere. Don't ever think it's okay to talk to yourself in a manner you wouldn't let another human being talk to you. The biggest abuser I ever had in my life was my constant companion, the thoughts in my head. We often take care to choose our words when correcting a child or friend. But if anyone had talked to me the way I talked to me for 30 straight fucking years, I would have murdered the monsieur. And probably got away with it too. Be nice to yourself. You're the only you have. The importance of education. As a kid you're always hear generic statements like, "This will help your career," but nothing specific enough to be useful. The view from halfway down. A shitload of the lessons in BoJack Horseman would apply in this. The deflector shield will be quite operational, but my friends will be arriving soon. Mistakes have consequences. Sometimes they are huge consequences, such as a mistake while driving could milk yourself or someone else. Sometimes they're little consequences, but always learn from your mistakes, and that you should always be learning and improving yourself. Serena Williams said she's learned more from her failures than her wins. It's an uncomfortable truth, but it's true. To not stick insert object into insert different dangerous object. Do not stick hand in mouth alligator, got it? That you can't stop me. Alright, fine, I'll start you instead. How to emotionally regulate. How to emotionally regulate what? Would you fucking answer? Nope. Gonna let you stew in it. That salary amount is not the entirety of an equation when deciding where to work. You have to take into account the cost of living, commute times, the safety of the nearby area, and the convenience of living in the area. Studies have shown that taking a 20-minute longer commute is as bad for your job satisfaction as a 19% pay cut. On top of that, wealth equals money in, money out. If a new job pays $20K more, but if rent, property prices are $30K more per year, you are taking a pay cut. On top of that, you have to consider your future. Do you have to move to an undesirable location to work there? Crammed in a little apartment where the nearest services are an hour away? What about air quality? What about noise levels? Is this a place where you want to start a family and raise kids? All of those play a factor in determining the desirability of a job. I am a firm believer that "my job doesn't exist outside this city" is a bullshit myth. Even if you're a super specialized rocket scientist with a PhD in orbital dynamics, NASA is not the only organization with a job opening for you. There are many more factors to that. Is this a job you really like? If you are making more money, but hate the job, is it really worth it? You are spending most of your day and your life at that place. If that part of your life sucks, it will affect your mood and happiness a lot. And close to that, the work atmosphere. Are you getting along with your colleagues? Is your boss a decent person? The social part plays a big role and is often ignored. And the work environment, culture, is indeed something people learn too late. Especially if they don't want to quit once getting started, or had some other offers. That it's never too late to learn. That cutting toward yourself is a bad idea. That cutting yourself is a bad idea. You don't need your ears to listen to yourself. You are your biggest limitation. That they might be wrong sometimes. Some never learn how to use their turn signals in a car. 1. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. Dalai Lama. 2. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. John Lennon. 3. Get busy living or get busy dying. Stephen King. 4. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Mae West. 5. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Thomas A. Edison. 6. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. 7. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Babe Ruth. 8. Money and success don't change people. They merely amplify what is already there. Quote, Will Smith. 9. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Steve Jobs. 10. Not how long, but how well you have lived is the main thing. Seneca. 11. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life, and be without flavor. Eleanor Roosevelt. 12. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do, and then do it. Henry Ford. 13. In order to write about life, first you must live it. Ernest Hemingway. 14. The big lesson in life, baby, is never be scared of anyone or anything. Frank Sinatra. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.